Alright, welcome back everybody. It's Cole's Farm, North Carolina. It's June 10th. It's just about 1 p.m. on Saturday. Let's see, today is week 11 since having the colony on the property. However, it's the 10th inspection. It's currently 82 degrees and 58% humidity. And similar like the past few videos in the past few weeks, the pollen is the same as far as grass, oak, hickory, and pecan. And according to the WeatherBug app, it is a 4.9 out of 10 for pollen today, which is medium. We had some bad weather roll through over the last week. A lot of rain. It dropped the pollen rating to 0.9, so practically nothing going on. So today I prepared 6 pounds of 1-to-1 syrup, which I'm going to supplement to the hive. And depending how the top brood chamber looks, I might pull it completely while we're going through a DERF here in North Carolina and add it back maybe towards August when the goldenrod picks up and they have more of a food source to get to. Because right now, looking around, there's really not a whole lot in bloom. So we'll see how the hive looks here in a second. Well, that's the first time that I've seen them actually using the top exit. So we'll see how things look. Seems to be a whole lot more propolis on the inner cover. That was actually somewhat difficult to get off. There's a good amount of bees on the 1st and the 10th frame, and then the 4th and the 5th frame. The 1st and the 10th is probably because I moved those up here over a month ago from the 1st chamber to basically try and draw them up. And the 4th frame, 3rd, 4th, and maybe 5th frame looks like it has a lot of bees. And that's one of the frames that they actually started to draw out. So we'll go through the top chamber and see how things look. And then something today when we get down to the bottom chamber that I plan on doing. Look at that. And cockroach, or what is this? Something I plan on doing down in the bottom chamber to try and spot the queen easier, that I learned from Eric Talley, one of the master beekeepers here. I plan on looking for the queen's court. So basically quite a few bees that follow the queen around, because I have a feeling that her marking has worn off by now, since I have not spotted her since I helped her out of her cage over a month ago. So maybe that tactic will help spot the queen a little easier. Well, they're actually drawing out pretty nice looking comb. Just taking a while. Nothing new there, but they're working at it. Maybe this will get drawn out before winter hits. So I think I'm gonna leave the top box. They're still working it. So I still have high hopes. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna add a empty super so I can place the 1 gallon bag of syrup on there, but I'll do that later. So let's move on to the second box. So frame number 1, unlike the frames at the top, for whatever reason, you know, they're just really slow to draw this out. Most likely because it's the most outside frame. It's just one of those frames that are drawn out in some odd pattern, but you know what? They're drawing it out, so I guess that's a win. Alright, frame number 3, the outside facing the outside of the chamber, and then the inside. And this is a new frame, so over the last month and a half or so, you know, they've actually drawn out the comb rather nicely, and the queen's laying eggs because we have some cat brood. One, two, three, frame number 4. Frame number 5. See those two bees right there feeding each other? Frame 5, no queen yet. Frame number 6. Having a little bee meeting right there. Oh, that's a drone. That's a drone. That's a drone. Drone. Frame number 7. No queen yet, but all these all these cells surrounding the cat brood there have good looking larvae in there. So I mean, she's still here. I want to see some eggs, but I'm not the best at spotting eggs either. I'm going to continue to try, but I mean, every single cell practically has some larva that has started to pupate, I believe is the correct term. But where is the queen? So this is 7. Granted, frame 8, just looking down, has a good amount of bees on there. That's 7. Frame number 8. Some capped honey. This is moving towards the outside, of course, so this is closer to where they store their food or their pantry. Got some nectar in here that hasn't been capped yet. Some capped brood. Some bees feeding off of, or, you know, placing more honey. But where is the queen? This is frame number 9. This has some weight to it. There's a lot of capped honey and a lot of stored honey or nectar. That'll probably be capped over the next few weeks. This frame's probably about maybe 10 pounds. And frame number 10. Still no queen. more drones than I've seen before. No queen yet. And I doubt she's going to be on the very outside frame. Oh man. Got a stinger in the glove. And I'm curious to see if the other bees noticed the pheromone that bee probably just let off after getting squished. Oh, didn't see a queen at all. Alright, round two with the sugar water. We had a little bit of a snafu. I got a little overzealous and cut too much and ended up losing about a pound of sugar water, so that's not good. I'll put the camera down there in a sec, but it ran all the way through the hive, of course, out the landing board onto a piece of wood I have in the front, so I imagine there's probably quite a few bees feeding there. So I'm going to cut a few times this time around and call it a day. So they have 5 pounds 14 ounces on June 10th. There we go. Alright, well that concludes this week's inspection. We didn't see any supersedral cells, swarm cells, and we didn't see the queen again. So, you know, unlike the last queen who was easy to spot all the time, she wasn't really producing that well and not laying that many eggs. This queen, the opposite in both realms, very elusive, very difficult to find. However, she has been filling in every single cell. Didn't really see too many eggs today just because I'm not that great at spotting them. However, you know, an egg is an egg for 3 days and then it starts to spin or pupate into larva, and I saw different stages, different sized larvae. So the queen was here, I would say, at least 3 to 4 days ago, or actually 4 to 5 days ago. Considering I haven't seen her in about a month, I'm not too concerned with it because the hive continues to show signs of good reproduction. Like I said, plenty of larvae in different stages, cap brood, a few more drones, which they've obviously hatched since last time. So I'm not too concerned with this queen. She's just hard to spot. So I think next week or maybe the week after, I'm gonna ask one of my mentors to come over, probably Dave Peed, with his marking kit and help me find her and remark her. So overall, it's been pretty good. The top brood chamber, the top box, had more signs of production, more drawn wax than last time. So I was kind of indecisive whether or not I was going to pull that or leave it. So I've decided to leave it. I added an empty medium super just to give space for the 1 pound or the gallon freezer bag that now has 5 pounds and 14 ounces of 1:1 sugar. Mainly because we're going through a dearth right now to where nothing's blooming, so I don't think they're going to become honey bound by supplementing the sugar water. And if they're anything like before, well, actually there's more bees now, so I think they'll consume that bag within a week. So I'm just going to give it 10 days. I'm on a 10-day cycle now with inspecting the hive, and things continue to look well. So not too worried about what's going on. I have a pretty strong feeling I'm not going to be pulling any honey this year, but you know, time will tell. So thanks for watching. We'll have another video for the next week's inspection, which is either 10 or 11, I can't remember right now, in about 10 days or so. See you then.